Hello, this is Cuckoo. Today I want to talk about this. Thyme. This is the Thyme from BASTL instrument, and this is something that I've been following with great interest over the years, and now it's finally out. And this is what it looks like on the front. So what is it? Well, on the back we can see a little explanation. Thyme, robot-operated digital tape machine, and that's precisely what it is. It's a digital tape machine with lots of robots that can control the different parameters up here. There's also a really cool sequencer where you can mess around with, presets that you can quickly change between, and yeah, it's really cool. And when BASTL says digital, they mean it. They're not trying to hide that this is like a digital machine. In fact, they're trying to emphasize that it's digital, and why not play around with the digital bits and bytes in there and make it crispy and crunchy. They could do that with this. But like low bitrate stuff is often seen with like an on-off behavior, like it's very static or it's on or off and stuff. This is very organic. It moves and swells and reacts really smoothly, and the robots they can add to that, and the feedback and the not compressor, but the way the feedback behaves when there is an incoming signal coming, it kind of ducks and lets some new sound in to the tape delay, and then it is very organic and smooth, and it rarely goes totally bonkers out of hand, because the software inside of this is making sure that everything kind of stays in control, which is very, very hard to do. I think that might be one of the reasons it's been taking a long time to develop it, to strike the right balance between crazy opportunities and keeping it all organic and so very, very nice work with the software there. So yeah, first of all, I just want to show you a little glimpse of what it sounds like. You can do stuff with no inputs. You can gain and create sounds with just this. This is really cool, as well as, of course, connecting different sound sources as well. So first of all, have a little peek of what it sounds like, and then let's show you how it works. Yeah, let's do it. As you can hear, the Thyme has got its own digitally flavored personality that comes to life here. It's fluid, but it's also abrupt. It can be really gritty, but also at the same time like high pitch, nasty, but smooth at the same time. Yeah, it's really cool. So, how do you do it? How do you go about to control it? Just by looking at this, it can be a bit overwhelming. It's so many labels here and this crazy art style, but there is a thought and there is a really good layout here when you get to know it. So let's go through it. Input gain here, so the audio comes in here and you can gain it. So the volume, adjust the incoming volume. This is totally analog, so there is nothing you can do to automate this. This is just to gain the incoming signal. Then there is the next group, I'd say, the delay controls, which is all the way from here to these. These are the delay controls. And then there is the robot control. Robot is just a fancy name for LFOs down here controlling these different parameters. And then we've got the dry wet mixer. So this is mixing between the clean signal and the delayed altered signal. And this is the main volume, like volume out. Cool. These buttons, like play, write, sound, tap, bypass. These are function buttons, and they also have like copy and paste stuff as well. Function is a good button there. It's expanding the possibilities there. Function and another button means you're reaching into shortcut territory. Yeah, and this robot select selects the parameter you want to automate by just wiggling it a bit like that. You can see it lights up. And then we've got these here. These are kind of the 4 different patterns per bank. And these down here, these are the sound patches. It's also the banks, and it's also these LFO types, the robot types. There's more to it, but yeah, let's get started. Let's make like a really simple delay. Let's see what it works. Let's use this. And if the incoming signal is too loud, let's make it too loud. This goes wrong. So avoid that. Okay, first of all, before we make the first delay, I'm going to empty a patch. I'm going to just make a clean start. This is something I do all the time, so I want to start by saying press the patch that you want to empty and press bypass. There is no label that tells you that it means clear, so this is something you need to remember. Bypass, bypass, bypass. It flashes for a moment, dish, and it's now clear, empty. This is something you just need to remember. So, when we clear something, these parameters, these knobs, they don't, they're not motorized, so they're not turning back to its original position. But we can see on the LEDs here, the LEDs are indicating what value they're at. So, an unlit means it's to the left, to the counterclockwise. A totally lit one means it's to the right, to the clockwise. So we can already read the positions, even though the actual positions of the potentiometers are in different positions. But yeah, so that's just it. So we can see that this is fully white. It means that it's fully on that end. And we turn it down, it diminishes. This, we can see it's totally white. So dry wet means that it's totally wet now. We can't hear the incoming signal, only the altered signal. I'm going to start by putting it right in the middle there, so we can hear just a little bit of the input and the altered signal. Cool. Still no delay. So what we're going to do here is just read this schematics a little bit. The sound comes in here, it's gained, and it's sent down to the right head of this little tape. And then there is a read head over there that picks up the audio again and sends it back into this system. So, but right now the read head, the position of the read head is at 0. So the position of the read head is at the same place as the right head. So there is in fact no delay. But if I move this course, it's going to move the read head. And we can also see the indication there. Yeah. Short delay. Yeah. But it's only delaying once. I'm going to turn off the volume a bit. So how do we make more delays? Well, feedback needs to be up. So it needs to, the delay signal here comes in here, and the feedback needs to be, we need to turn up the feedback. So that's a short delay. Make it even shorter. If if we make it like the shortest possible, you can't really hear it, but if we turn up the feedback and we use the fine knob instead of the coarse knob, these are both tied together. They're both moving the reed head to create this delay, but this is doing it as a really fine increment. Let's see. Yeah, okay. There is another one called levels here. This is interesting. This is kind of boosting the level of the feedback delay. So let's boost it and see what happens. And feedback. Be careful now. Ah! I'm going to play this. There's a little pattern here. Change this. Okay, so by changing the levels here, it's actually boosting these signals and the delay signals. It becomes really interesting. So the next one called spacing. This is really interesting. It's a little bit wacky and it's changing a bit. Let's see. Right now, we can see that it's at level 0 right now. Let's turn the knob there too. There is only one delay loop here. If I turn this on, it creates extra reed heads that are offset, really interesting. I'm going to turn it down again. I'm going to change the course here to make a longer delay. Okay, now I'm going to turn this up again and see what happens. And I'm going to turn down feedback so we hear exactly what's in there. So we're turning this all the way up here. Listen. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there are 4 pickup heads, like this one and some 3 extra heads there. And the placement of them, the spacing of them is kind of spreading a bit unevenly in an interesting pattern. So let's play around with all of this now. Another thing you can see here, there's a filter, low pass and high pass. So it's currently set to the middle. Now let's listen to the filter. As we can hear, it's only applied to the wet one. I'm going to stop this now. Now you could hear that when I turned feedback up to maximum and the chorus was really low, at some points, and also if the levels here are high, we can hear it's going to self-oscillate. Got to be careful. I'm going to turn down the volume a bit and just push the limits and see what happens when you push the limits. So levels are up, Feedback is up. It's maximum feedback, maximum levels. And you can hear it, it's just stopped. It doesn't go any further. It's stopped now. This could have been done with no inputs. Just boosting the noise that is already in there, finding new noise depending on the cycle. This is very interesting to mess around with this, I think. This is where it gets really creative. Now, one thing that we haven't touched yet is the tape speed knob. Let's touch it. So it's taking this whole buffer and slowing it down digitally. Isn't it beautiful? And if you go all the way down, we can hear this really low bit. Yeah. And in order to kill this, what do we do? Well, two things. Feedback and levels. And we can let it die. It'll take a while. We could also speed it up to speed up the death process. Yeah. So this is something you can experiment with. I'm gonna connect this again, and I'm gonna show you something with the tape speed now. Now I'm gonna reset this. Reset. Okay, so I'm gonna pick a little pattern here. So how about this? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna. One thing you could do without messing with any parameters, just the tape speed. Okay, now it's fully wet here, so it's gonna be just the altered sound. I'm just gonna change the tape speed now. Let's see what happens. So what's happening here is that it's slowing down the tape speed. So when the tape is running really slow, the bit rate is really slow, but the tape is really long. But since we're reading back from the same position, it acts as a bit crush. Yeah, cool. Okay, so let's make a few presets here. Let's say we want one of these. Just this one. Okay, I want to save this. It's going to be right here. Okay, it's not saved to the memory yet. If you want to save this to the memory, so it's there when you turn it off, you have to press function and save. So now it flashes a bit, and all of these 8 banks, or not banks, but all of these 8 presets are saved. If we go to this one and we empty it and create another one. Let's say like, yeah, actually I wanted to copy this over here and make some adjustments. Yeah, let's do that. Press this, function and copy. Press this, function and paste. So now it should be identical. So let's make this one a little bit interesting too. Let's see. Feedback. How about that? Okay, I'm going to copy this Function and copy. I'm gonna paste it there. Function and paste. So now we got this one. This one. I'm gonna tune it. Okay, what else? What else? Yeah, let's make like an epic delay here as well. I'm gonna start from scratch on that one. So I'm gonna turn the feedback up, middle, yeah, how about that? That's fun. Okay, so. You can hear that there was like a chirp when I changed to this, because all of these parameters, they snap into new positions and they probably just go there really quickly and probably interpolate really quickly. So the tape speed had a totally different time here and just went, and then we get this little chirp there right when you change it. So if we want to robotize some parameters here, let's say we want to take the tape speed perhaps and put one of these on it, like that one. Yeah, let's start with this one. It's easy to demonstrate. So let's say we want to wiggle this. Well, we just first we press this, we wiggle the one we want to robotize, and when this is now lighting up, we can release this, or we can actually select the robot we want to use. I want to use this one, and now we can let go of it and change the amount. So so you can hear that this parameter is now automated. Yeah, so there are 8 different behaviors for the robot. Let's try some different stuff out. This is interesting. This is interesting. Now you can hear it was falling. Doo, doo, doo. That means that this LFO shape is being sent to this parameter now in this mode, in the negative mode. You can see these little plus, minus, and minus. It's being sent this, and the negative value is probably going that way. So if I want to make a positive value, I press this while this is held. Let's listen to it now. It's going up. And we can even do it in the middle there, plus minus. In this case it will sound the same, just shift it a bit down. Yeah, cool. So this one is cool too. Let's try this. This is random. This one I'm not sure about. Let's see the manual. One-shot decay, linear decay from full to off, triggered when you activate the sound. Okay, so this one is actually kind of cool. It triggers when I activate the sound. Let's see if it works. Yeah. So it's a one-shot envelope. This envelope, however, is even cooler because this is following the input. Let's say. Envelope follower is really cool. And CV, I don't have any CV right now, but you can make a CV, incoming CV signal, change the parameter as well. Yeah, so what else? Yeah, I just felt like making a clean start and trying out something different. So yeah, bear with me. Okay, as you can hear, I've prepared a number of presets here, and I want to show you the sequencer. I'm not using it now, but let's use it. And now I've hooked up the clock output here to come into the clock input, and I've selected the function, and I'm tapping this here to select which clock I want to sync to. So I'm going to tap until this is in the middle, which corresponds to this clock. So now this should be synced to this clock. So when I press play here now, the sequencer will wait for the clock and start. There was a little sequence in there now, so let's see how we change that sequence. So I'm gonna keep it running and hold right and tap in real time. So let's see. I'm gonna just restart this and raise the volume and go. Okay, so I'm gonna hold right here now. I'm gonna override this. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. It's 8 steps long. So now this is running the sequence. Yeah, cool. So now we made one sequence, it's on the A sequence. I'm gonna go down here to the B sequence now and see if I press play again here. I'm gonna stop it and play it again. There's nothing here now, so it's not telling me what to do. So I'm gonna make a different one here. So I'm gonna hold down right and okay, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Nice. So now I got 2 sequences. That's a bit slower. Yeah. Yeah, so that's how you make use of several. You can make like a different sequence for something special, and then a different sequence for something other special, equally as special. Now I'm syncing it, but the sequence doesn't have to be synced. It could be use its own clock. Like function and tap will alternate between these 3 states. Now it's synced to click, but it could also be synced to a MIDI clock. If I tap it again, this one is lit up. If I tap it again, it's synced to the tap. So I can do this, and now it's got its own clock there. I need to play it. So now it's not related to this tempo at all. Yeah. So yeah, that's how you sync it. That's how you make cool sequence. You can manually program the sequence as well. It's a bit more, fiddly, but it's there. Let's have a look. If we press right, when right is lighting up and it's pressed, we're in the right mode. And if you press sound, you can select what sound you want to look at. So if we look at the first one, this patch, this is the sequence for that patch. That was really lousy. If I press sound, they call these patches, like the stage, they call them sounds. If I press it and select a sound, this sound has its own sequence. So if I go here to pattern number C and press, we can see that this is actually empty. I'm going to press this again and say that, okay, sound number 1, I want the sequence to look like this. It's going to come in there, and then it's come in there. But then sound number 2, I want it to come in there, and then come in there. And sound number 3, I want it to come in right there. So now I made three different, they're on their own track. So if I play this now, it's good, like, yeah. Yeah, they go through this pattern of, you can't see them all at the same time, but you can alternate between the different sounds like this and see its timeline. It's like 8 tracks at the same time. But at the same time, so let's say this one. If I press this, it's just 8 steps. It might be too little, but if you press and hold it, this lights up, and this is actually sub-steps. So you can say that, well, actually on step 3, I want sound number 3 to come first, and then immediately afterwards, I want sound 1 to kick in really fast, and then immediately after that, I want sound 2 to also kick in on number 3. And let's listen to what it sounds like. So we're listening to step number 3 now. You can hear that. It went through different states there. So you actually got 8 times 4, which equals 32. Yeah. So you got 32 steps here, which is really cool. And if you press function and press these, now these actually make it respond to the incoming to the clock differently. Yeah, it's actually called a clock divider. So when you hold down function, these will change how the clock is divided and how many steps it takes when it receives a clock pulse. Okay, so I'm reading from the manual. If it's in A mode, the clock is 2 steps per tap, and B is 1 step per tap, 2 sub-steps per tap, 1 sub-step per tap. So basically, it's the division of the clock. So the further down you go, the slower it plays back. So now we can see here that it plays back really slow. If we go up here, you can see it's just running through it really fast. Yeah, I realized that this might not be like the most extensive and structured review or tutorial. I know that, but I hope you got like a good flavor of what it sounds like and what you can do with it, and hope you got some ideas of what you'd like to try out. I think it sounds really special, and I'm really impressed by how it moves and how it kind of flows. It moves really smoothly when you want to, and then it's really abrupt in a very digital, cool way when you want that. So it has both sides of that. I really like that. Yeah, the Thyme from BASTL Instruments, cool stuff. If you like this, and if you like what I do, on the internet, on YouTube, with tutorials and reports and stuff, please consider becoming my patron. My patrons, they get like patches and downloads. If you support me on a monthly basis, you get that. You get access to my library of patches and stuff. If you like what I do, but you just want to shoot in like a little donation here and there, or perhaps you just want to buy one of my packs, please go to my web store, store.truecuckoo.com, and purchase my packs over there. You can add in some extra tips if you want to. Yeah, cool. Well, thank you so much for watching. This is Cuckoo, and please stay very curious about life and music and gear, and stay curious. Ask questions. Peace out.